Hi friends, and welcome back to another episode of TT Reacts. Okay friends, so today I decided to look under the keyword not progressing. So let's see what popped up. How do I progress? I'm currently at the level where I can hold a handstand for 3 to 5 seconds, but not consistently. Like, I'll get a good handstand occasionally, but most of the time I fail. I'm currently just spamming handstand attempts, but that doesn't seem to be working. Okay, so this is what the comments are saying. Keep spamming them, but mindfully. That's bad advice, because this person does not know what they are doing. If they can only hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, there's something wrong with their form, their technique, or just their training in general overall is not good enough. Or they just don't have the correct muscle mass and they're not working toward the handstand in the correct way. So don't keep spamming them, because that's going to increase your chance of injury, and we don't want that. Let's see here. Spend more time upside down, put off the wall for 3 to 5. Wall, 3 to 5, wall. I think that for some people it might work, but if your technique and your form is very bad, these methods, these vague methods that are being recommended to everyone, are not going to do anything. This is only going to work if you're someone who has to work toward the strength to hold yourself up, but you have the form and you have the technique. Then this could potentially work to increase your time. But if you don't have the form or the technique, then spamming them and just staying upside down longer is not going to help you, because no matter what, when you go up into the handstand, your form is going to be terrible and your equilibrium is just going to be off and it's not going to work out. And you certainly won't be able to balance that for more than 5 seconds. So, yes, and I do agree with Big Rise to post a video so that we know what we're working with before just giving advice. Like, people are just so quick to give advice and they haven't even seen a video or anything. They're just giving advice and it's just copy and paste, which is why people don't progress in this group on their own most cases. So that's basically my issue with people in this group, is just people give it cookie cutter advice as if everyone's body and starting point aren't different. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Okay, next. Seeing some progress but can't hold the balance. Okay. You're seeing some progress but can't hold it. Let's see here. Your ankles are not squeezed at all. It's not tight at all in this video. And then at that, if your feet are dangling around, it's going to be harder to breathe in rhythm. So your breathing has to be in line with the tenseness of your body. And if you never fully tense up, it's going to be harder to lock in on those breathing patterns. But I do think that this is a good, stable handstand. For the most part, he does have it down. But like I said, it's just kind of a technique thing. And I do think this person could benefit from more time upside down. You have to have the form and the technique before you start doing it at a rapid and high volume pace, because otherwise, the more you do it, the higher your chance of injury will be at the end of the day. So, yeah, that person I would recommend to do it back to back to back to back. Keep doing it, keep trying, because your technique is fine. You're not at a high risk of injury. And though doing it more does increase your risk of injury, if you're skilled at a higher level, your odds are a lot lower, because you know how to properly bail. You know, basically you're strong enough to catch yourself if something happens. You have the mobility, the flexibility, things like that you'll frequently see with advanced people or just gym people in general. that have a good foundation with the handstands. Okay, I found that I can stay less if I don't point my toes when doing a handstand. Pointing my toes, I don't stop falling. Another and another time, but with my toes normally, I could stay for around 8 seconds at my max time. Why? I trained with them pointed for a week and I didn't improve anything. I'm so confused reading this because what I'm understanding is pointing is not helping them increase their time in handstand, which I mean, I don't understand how it would increase your time. That's kind of like the one of the most aesthetic portions of a handstand, but it's not what makes a handstand difficult. It's not what is fully tightening the handstand. Your muscles and your technique in general is tightening that handstand up. Squeezing your ankles will stabilize the movement a lot more than pointing your toes. Though you can do both simultaneously, it's not something that's necessary like a lot of people are saying. Um, but yeah, pointing your toes isn't going to do anything to extend your time because the things that extend your time are things that are actually important, like your breathing patterns, your muscle mass, your muscular engagement, and things of that nature that aren't necessarily aesthetically pleasing all the time, because you can have everything right and it's not a pretty handstand. It doesn't have to be a pretty handstand. Just me, a noob, enjoying the journey and filming so I can see my progress. Ma'am, what are you doing? Hold on, let me see here. Oh, I did see this, I did see someone recommending these for a handstand press up, I believe. Ma'am, you need to keep your head up in this movement so you can continue to breathe. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, I saw this video. Or actually, no, I saw one of her other videos. I didn't see this video. Ma'am, you need to keep your head up high enough so that you can breathe. Yeah, so this lady, her training is peculiar. I would not encourage most beginners to practice in such a way. I think that doing something like planks and warming up with push-ups, planks, and lateral raises before your workout will benefit you more than trying to do whatever she's doing on a yoga ball. And the chest to wall movement, the way her head was like down, probably touching the wall the entire time before she lifted it, I would not encourage that either. And just in general, it's just not challenging enough or progressive enough workout that I would encourage anyone to really do. What I would encourage you to do is to start off with this progression so you can find your feet placement, get that core engagement, and just give you the form and the tools that you will need to hold that handstand up. So in this workout here, you are going to be doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. It is a high intensity interval for handstands that will help you to breathe through this difficult movement while getting a good core workout in your abs. But it's also paving the way for this next progression here, where you're kicking out with both of your feet at one time and you're still having that core engagement, but you are finding the spot that holds your handstand up and makes it the most stable that it can be. And again, you're learning to breathe through this movement. Breathing is very difficult, even at an advanced level, to have a good breathing pattern because it's just such a strenuous workout. It's just such a full workout that breathing through it is difficult for however long you will be upside down. So yes, in your final progression will be this free handstand, and that will be when you start focusing on things like squeezing your ankles when you go to practice on your own, and really just making sure you're warming up and getting stronger as you do this workout, as to not plateau, because plateauing is something that will prevent a lot of people from reaching their full potential. But I would implore you to not continuously do the same thing and then be confused when nothing changes. Your training is likely the issue if you're not seeing progress with your handstand. You're not doing any sort of strength training. You're not training like an athlete would do. And a handstand is very athletic. So it's not something that everyone can do. You have to work toward it in most cases and make sure that you remain strong enough and healthy enough to do this movement safely, because otherwise it can put your health at risk. All right, guys, that was the last video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, like it and subscribe. If you'd like to be featured, go ahead and send your video to this email right here, and you may see it in an upcoming video. But until next time, ciao.